carry the weight with stories that matter. Don't let them wait. Every story matters, from bases to war zones, from tearful reunions to cold nights alone. Spouses and veterans, hearts that won't quit, telling the truth about all of it.
Hello and welcome back, everyone. It's just another day in the life as a military wife, and I am really excited to share this week's interview with all of you. I recently had the opportunity to sit down with a 90-year-old Air Force veteran, and she told me all about her life growing up during World War II, how watching her family's sacrifices through the war led her to want to join the Air Force, and then later she became a military spouse. Just the amazing experiences she had and her insights as well. So without further ado, we're just going to jump into her story and let her introduce herself. As always, I am your host, Sam Wolf, and you're listening to Life of a Military Wife. Okay, Carolyn, thank you so much for letting me interview you. Will you go ahead and explain just a little bit about why you chose to join the Navy and when you joined the Navy? What year?
Actually, I would like to start with the fact that as a background, I was born in 1935, and consequently, I was raised during the time of World War II.
Wow.
Now, I remember vividly at 10 years old being driven with my family in the car downtown to watch a parade when 1945 at the end of the armistice, and all the excitement that was going on. Now, you have to understand that I was raised in a time when there was a tremendous amount of propaganda and things that were being said and shown, and the war effort for us as a family at home. We lived with breaking apart cans and doing them the proper way so that they could be sent for the war effort. Everybody saved aluminum everything off of your gum sticks or wherever, which is maybe has contributed to the hoarding that everybody has now. I don't know. But there was a tremendous amount of propaganda and things that were going on. Ironically,
saving your grease too was a thing, right?
I beg your pardon, I missed that.
Saving your kitchen grease, that was a thing as well, right?
Oh, everybody was extremely frugal on everything because we had food stamps, and you were only allowed to have so much of everything. I was so blessed to have grandparents who owned a dairy farm. So many, many times, not knowing it as a child, my parents would drive out and visit their parents and leave my brother and I there so we could eat.
Oh, wow. That's a huge blessing for you.
It's something that you just wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool. So
at that time, okay, go.
You go ahead.
Yeah.
No. At that time, what were you
saying? At that time, my dad was working for a WPA. And just to get by. They were a young family. And it was an interesting time looking back on it now. A lot of things that I can say or talk about, people cannot relate to, really.
No, yeah.
But I had an cousin who was a POW in the war. My. We did not hear from him. We did not know whether he was alive or dead for months into years. He was critically injured, but he did come home.
Who was he held by? What theater?
He was a POW, and I do not know where. But his plane was shot down, and he was injured and had extremely bad taken care of. He was not taken care of well at all.
Okay. Do you know his name? Because I might be able to look it up.
Forrest Brennenstuhl. And yes, you can look it up. It's extremely interesting what he has to say.
How do you spell that last name?
Brinstool.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
my uncle was I don't know what his rank was. He was, I believe he was Navy. I don't know. My aunt was Wave. She
Okay.
was in the Navy.
Really?
That was my family. Yes.
Wow.
That was my family that I grew up with and admired, and probably had a lot to do with what I felt like the patriotic thing to do. It was engraved in me at that time, which you don't see a lot of now, but extremely patriotic. Loved the country, loved the president, loved America.
Yeah. I can only imagine having World War II be the backdrop for your childhood really would be quite impactful. Do you remember hearing about Pearl Harbor, or were you too young when Pearl Harbor happened?
I must have been too young because I heard about, I really was impacted more as an adult
Mm-hmm.
because I actually had friends who were in Hawaii at that time.
Okay.
And so they shared their experiences with me. And that was really probably much more impactful at that time.
What state did you grow up in?
Michigan.
In Michigan. Okay.
Yes. In Jackson, Michigan, which was the state prison, was there at the time, which is written about and sung by Johnny Cash.
Yep. Okay. So do you remember the blackouts too?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we had black curtains hanging in the windows, and we were told when to shut them, and us children all just basically honed in on our parents' laps because it was extremely
Mhm.
frightening.
Yeah. And how did you feel at that parade when you saw all those service members coming home?
Well, as a child, it was just a parade to me.
Mm-hmm.
I've looked on it since and thought, at the time I remember going to different movies and things, and the propaganda that was in the movies was unbelievable, really. Every we have ads or whatever and things
Yep.
now. Our ads were all about what was happening in the war and how we should help and buy stamps and whatever to do to help the war effort.
Yeah.
Like I
So
said, it was extremely patriotic time.
it really was. Yeah.
So it's
Um,
incredible to me to see the lack of it now. I don't understand it.
you know what? I agree because so I grew up in a family that were either largely recent immigrants or have been here since the revolution and were a part of George Washington's army. So like that. So my family's either really grateful we got here and to a good country,
Oh,
or we've been here forever and we've been in the military forever. It's like those are the two sides of my family. So that's what I was raised with. And then my husband, three of his four grandparents all served in World War II. And that's why he wanted to serve, was because of his grandparents. Specifically, he was impressed by his grandmother who like that wasn't common to, and so for him he was just, yeah, he had his grandfather, one of them was a Marine, and then his one grandfather was in the Army, and then the grandma was in the Air Force. Do you know what your aunt who was in the waves, what she did?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not. I've never really thought about it. I just knew that she served honorably, and that was it. I will tell you a family history that was difficult as a child. My grandmother was, her family came from Germany.
Mm-hmm.
It was not a good thing to be known that you had
Yeah.
family that were Germans. And so I was basically told to keep it a secret.
No, that's what happened to my family are Italian and then my husband's family are German. And my husband's family during the war, they just pretty much stopped doing anything German. They just completely let that all go. Luckily, with my Italian family, we were able to hold on to a lot of the culture. The Italian community was a little bit more insulated from some of those feelings. But yeah, we've seen that same thing with my husband's family. So we're trying to bring back the culture for our kids. But I can
Yes,
yeah, it makes sense why there would be people who are
right.
uncomfortable. So,
Well, at the time, the border of Germany and Poland was being moved constantly. And so
mhm.
sometimes she was Polish and sometimes she was German.
Oh, so she's from that area. Okay, I know
Yes.
exactly which area you're talking about. And
Mhm.
um was there was even a city in that area that was completely independent because neither during the treaty after World War One, they couldn't decide who would get it, and so they made it its own little country. I don't remember what the city was now, but yeah, that's interesting to know that she was from that region.
Yeah.
Um, does she? So did she? Was she? Did she resonate more with Polish culture or German culture? Or
Didn't acknowledge either, really.
okay, yeah, that's kind of a complicated area to be from because there's been so many wars in that area. That area has been owned by everyone. So,
Right, right.
so as you were growing up, when did you decide that you wanted to be in the military? Was it as a young kid or when?
I think because I admired my aunt so very much that that was a really deciding thing for me. But when my parents reached a point of wanting to move on in their life, my brother and I were older, almost ready to get out of high school. They picked up roots and moved to Florida.
Okay.
And we got to Florida. I was really a lost soul, teenager, typical, don't know what I'm going to do, don't know who I am, want to find myself, all of the yada yada.
Yeah.
And the military base was in uh, Tampa.
Okay.
And
So,
so it was Air Force.
all right.
And at that time, it was a Strategic Air Command, uh,
Okay.
which was much more secure than some of the other bases at that time. And of course,
Yeah.
everything was so different because of the timing of early 50s. And so my girlfriend and I my girlfriend lived nearby. Her and I decided we're going to run away from home. So we ran away from home and joined the military. And when I say that, that's truly what it was.
Yeah.
And we went into the Air Force. So I was in the Air Force.
Oh, okay. I thought you were in the Navy for some reason. Air Force.
No,
All right.
I was in the Air Force, but it was only for 1 year because I had met my husband when we lived on Anna Maria Island, and
Okay.
I had met my husband there, and we snuck off and got married, and I got pregnant.
Oh,
Well,
yeah. That would do it.
when in the military at that point, you were not allowed to be in the military, so I was discharged after
Yep.
a year. But interesting to me how things work out because I was in a year. I was considered a veteran.
Yep.
Consequently, I had all of veteran benefits.
Yeah. And that's
And my husband was in the Navy.
okay.
And at that
That's where that
point,
was.
my life took a complete turn, and I became a military wife, which was
So,
my life from then until he passed away.
okay. So when you joined the Air Force, where did you do your basic training?
I was trying to remember all that, but I'm old. So to try to remember everything, I believe it was San Diego.
Okay.
I'm
And
not real
then,
positive. I ended up in Biloxi, Mississippi,
okay.
uh, was where I ended up. And I was in, like I said, SAC base, as they called
Yeah.
it.
Stratcom. Yep.
And at that time, they had uh, base operations,
Okay.
which meant the pilot came into base operations, checked the weather, filed a flight pattern. I received the flight pattern, translated it to the tower.
That's what my husband does.
Really?
I was like, they call it flight operations now, but yeah, I was like, wait, that I know that job. My husband does that. My husband's done that job. Yeah, that's what my husband's done for the army.
Well, only
I-
a military person would understand that I was Charlie Fox
okay. Yep.
when
Yep.
I went in. But then when they took my married name, I was Charlie Peter, and I wasn't happy with that.
Well, yeah. They changed, yeah, because they changed it on that. It's okay.
Oh,
You're all right. No,
so
I get that
so
one.
it stayed in. Now my husband was a aviation electrician on a patrol uh, squadron.
Okay. So you
So
met him while you were in the service.
in yes,
Okay, so were you guys stationed at the same place then?
no, he was my boyfriend at home,
Oh, at home. Okay. So
right?
you ditched your boyfriend to join the Air Force.
I did, but then I. What can you say about a teenager?
Hey, you know what? You had some fun.
There's
You
no
wanted to see the
rhyme or
world.
reason really why you do anything or whatever. You're all hormonal.
So you just wanted to make sure that he really missed you and that, he
He
valued you.
did
So,
miss him. He came and checked me out at the base. Yeah, and
okay.
pursued me there. Okay.
Aw, see, he loved you. He came for you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, uh, we were married
So
35 years.
So you were at your first duty station and you're working in flight operations and
Hmm.
um how long did it take him to show up to say hi and visit you? Was it a
Oh,
couple of
matter of
months?
months. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was, yes.
So were there a lot of other women at the time or was it just you?
It was a full platoon that went through basic training.
Okay. And where did your friend end up?
Uh, I kept in contact with one. I don't remember where she ended up at. I
That's
did
okay.
stay in touch with her for a number of years.
Yeah. So when did he propose and how did he propose?
Long time ago.
On one of his visits
Personal,
to you?
very personal. I will
Okay.
keep that to myself.
You do that then. That is perfectly fine and acceptable. So you guys eloped? Did you get married were at your duty
In
station?
Georgia, went
Okay.
across the border and went to Georgia. where they
Okay.
would, yeah,
And
took
did you
his
tell
best
your
friend, took his best friend and his wife as our to people stand up with us.
to be your
Yeah,
witnesses? So how did you
yes,
break it to your family?
we're married.
What was their response?
Mom got me a new dress.
Aw, that's sweet. And what did your dad think? Was he happy?
Oh, sure, he loved me no matter what.
That's good parents. That's good parents right there. That's awesome that they were so supportive and loving of you. Um,
And then we went to Jacksonville, where
mhm,
he was stationed. Um, had a little, uh, very small little trailer that we lived in.
okay.
Um, was stationed. Uh, he was a strange military. He
Mhm.
never left the Jacksonville area.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Okay.
his the squadron that he was in, like I said, was a patrol squadron, and they would be land-based overseas when they would deploy.
Okay.
So he would deploy to Keflavik, Iceland, or
Okay.
Sigonella is Sicily.
Oh, he went to okay. I'm Sicilian.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's where my family's
Okay.
from. So
Yeah,
that's
well,
awesome. So
I have
you were
in
in
my
for
family
1 year. Did you have to get out because you got married or did you have to get out because you got pregnant?
because I got pregnant.
Okay, that's what I thought because that really was the way it went.
Right.
But he wasn't.
It definitely was. I was shocked. I had quite a few in my family that have been in the military, and my the girls, the one was pregnant twice in the military, wore her maternity
Mhm,
uniform.
mhm.
I was shocked.
Yep, yep. Now it's a thing.
Yeah,
I've had
it's
several
no
family
big thing.
members.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm well, I'm glad you got to serve. So what was that like transitioning from being a service member to now being the spouse? What was
I think it probably helped me in a way, because I was familiar with uh, all the terms of everything that my family did not understand, like things like commissary.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Um
I
it
loved
took a
being a military wife. It was wonderful.
Yeah. Was it helpful for you? Could you explain things to some of the other young military wives who were still feeling lost? Did you get to like
Well,
mentor and help people out?
my thing is that you have got to be yourself. You have
Oh
got to
yeah.
be self-sufficient and able to care for yourself, because
Mhm.
when something happens, they're going to leave,
Yep.
and you better know how. Don't fill in their side of the closet right away.
Yeah, no, that's true. And well, you're right. Self-sufficiency as a military spouse is super important and also knowing who you can go to when you need help so that you're not worrying them.
There's
They
a
know that
lot
you
more
have
things
a support group.
available. There's a lot
Yep.
more things available for a military now that were not available then. They take into consideration that women are alone and that they need help
Yep.
with just loneliness.
Yes. Yes. Did you have other military spouse friends that you guys kind of supported each other and helped each other out?
The patrol squadron that were in was very close. They
Okay.
spent a lot of time together, and they were all wonderful. It was like I said, I love being a military wife. It was really fine, and raised 5 children.
Yep.
So,
What kind
uh,
of things did you guys do together? You and the other wives?
well, didn't we would get together and have meals.
Mhm.
Uh, when I went to have my baby in the hospital, the one military wife was packed a thermos and sandwiches to take care of my mother while we were in, because my husband was overseas.
Oh. That's awesome. That's great when you've got
Yeah, he
friends
was
like
not there when he was not there when she was born, and he only reason he got to come home was because this is terrible. His father passed away.
Oh, that is tragic. Yeah, we've had to do several of those. When he had to come home for emergency leave, was it through the Red Cross or how did he do that process?
Yes, it was. Actually, it was.
Okay. Yeah, we've had to do Red Cross stuff too with family deaths. So we understand that process. Yeah, the Red Cross is still a great way to get those situations taken care of, and I'm glad that organization is there to help out military families. So, so he was deployed twice, or how often was he deployed?
Oh, every 4 to 6 months.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
Right. He went a lot. Yes.
Okay, and you guys had 5 kids. Were you in Florida the whole time?
Yes. He
Lucky.
never left the Jacksonville area. He was always based there. And after he got out of the patrol squadrons, he became a teacher on the
Okay.
base, and he
Did
taught A
did he
school.
end did he end up in the Korean War at all?
No,
Okay. But did he serve during the Korean War?
I guess he did, but he just stayed in Jacksonville. And when they flew down into the Cuba area.
Okay. Yeah, that did happen. Um, so he was Navy and he was a pilot,
He was a member of the crew. He was the electrician.
the electrician. Really? Okay. So
And so
my grade,
they maintained their own aircraft.
yep.
So I
No,
always
my
felt that was a pretty good idea because I figured they weren't going to sabotage their own ship.
Yeah, no, you want your own maintainers, and your maintainers are important even now. My uncle he got in just before the Korean War, my great uncle, and he was a mechanic in the Navy for the airplanes. So um, I grew up around military airplanes because of him, and that that's an important job. How long was he in the Navy? How were
He was a career man.
career man? So he did 20 years.
Yes.
So how did you help your kids when they were young and as they got older handle when daddy was gone? Like what things did you do to help them handle the missing
Well,
him and things?
we bought property, and we
Mm-hmm.
lived on the property. And so my children were average little kids playing outside and growing, just growing. They did fine. We did well. We went to movies. We rode bikes. We just was normal.
We did
Yeah.
scouting.
Yeah. Well, yeah, all my children I felt they needed to be involved in something in school. So they all had to have an after school activity. So I
Okay.
had them in band,
Oh,
uh,
fun. That's
and
good.
they all learned instruments, and they were in Bluebirds, and they were in Girl Scouts, and um, just normal kids.
That's awesome. That's a really great way to handle those separations is to help the kids find other meaningful things to work on while daddy's gone. What was communication like with him when he was gone? Did you get letters? Was he able to
Oh
call
yeah, letters.
letters?
Yeah, letters.
Do you
Sure
still
did.
have your letters?
A lot of them.
That's awesome. I think letter writing is one of the things that we've lost, and it's kind of sad.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. I wrote my husband a lot when he was in basic because he was in basic back when letter writing was still the major form of communication. And we've kept all of our letters from then. But I wish we had continued to write letters during his deployments, but we never did. We just called each other, and you can't reread a phone call, which is
No.
Sad.
Well, what at one time he went off, and I hadn't heard from him in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And one of our ladies that I was a friend with in the squadron found out about it. So she contacted her husband,
Oh,
who went to the commander, who called my husband in. I got a letter right away.
I'm sure you did.
That
Oh
was
my
rather
goodness.
comical. I said,
Yeah.
Sarah, please don't help me anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, my husband, I wrote him at least once a day, every day he was in basic, because we'd only been married for a few years and we had one little baby, and writing him was what I did. Like, I didn't have much else to do, except for take care of the baby. And so I would write him every single day. And at one point, his sergeant pulled him aside and just threw a whole bunch of letters at him and said, "Tell your wife to get a life." And he's like, "She has a life. It's writing me."
Exactly. A very important one.
Exactly. Yep. No, I love letter writing. It's fun. It helps me organize my thoughts. I feel like I'm scatterbrained in phone calls sometimes, but so
Well, because I've had some health issues. I've moved in with my youngest daughter,
mhm.
and I've had to go through a lot of things that I've had. And I have found a lot of cards that over when it was special times that he had sent me. And they become just valuable to
Oh
me
yeah.
at this point. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. I've kept stuff like that too, and I still will. My husband teases me that he calls me a hoarder for that sort of stuff. I'm like, you know what? I will hoard cards and letters and things like that and pictures. That's acceptable. Other things we can let go, but those are important things for me. I
Those
love
are
family gifts.
memories,
Yeah, they are memories.
very valuable memories.
Oh yeah. I'll let other things go. Old cell phones, they can go. But um what was something you guys would do, or did you spend a Christmas in the military? Did you have a Christmas as a service member in the Air Force?
No.
No. Okay. So, what were some fun things you would do for the kids? Was your husband ever gone on the holidays, like for Christmases or things like that?
I don't recall it. I'm looking at Dottie because
I don't remember. I always remember Dad being there for the holidays.
yeah.
Okay.
For Christmas, maybe you know, Easter or some of those he might not been, but for Christmas he was. I don't ever remember him not being
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it's hit or miss, and it sounds like he was back and forth a lot.
He
Um,
was. Well, sometimes it was to the point of, for heaven's sakes, just leave.
yeah. Yep. I've had some friends whose husbands were gone a lot, and they said it's almost better for them to be gone for a year
It is.
than
It
to be
is.
home and back and home and back and home and back. Because you get
Right.
into a rhythm when they're gone, and then
Exactly. Yes, you do. And you start to grieve.
yeah, and
And
then when
so
they get home,
when they're finally gone, you can deal with that.
yes.
It was interesting. My husband left, and he was what we would call a white hat,
Mm-hmm.
enlisted. And while he was in Sicily, he had passed the chief's test. And so he completely changed his uniform. So when he came back and landed, my children didn't know who he was.
Oh no. Oh no. So they didn't recognize him because his uniform was all different. Oh
Completely
man.
different, yes.
How old were they at the time?
Oh, they were little, really little.
At one point, my husband, he was gone, I think, for a month for a training. And we were at the commissary, and my oldest kids were very little. And my daughter goes running up to this guy and grabs him around the legs and says, "Daddy." And because from the side, he'd had glasses and similar hair, because my husband had glasses at the time. And he's like, "Not my kid, not my kid." Lifted his hand above his head and was like, "Not mine." And I'm like, "It's okay. It's okay. That's not daddy. That's not dad." Like, it was just, oh my gosh. To this day, I still think it's one of the funniest things. But yeah, it's funny how the uniform really does stick in the kids' heads, and that's how they find. But then when you're in the commissary, everyone's got uniforms.
Absolutely. Well, it was interesting for me to go to the commissary because you had to have an ID at that point to be in there. And my oldest daughter is 8 years older than my second child.
Yeah.
And she had her own ID, so she could walk with me. But I had one hanging on the end of the cart.
Mm-hmm.
Dottie was always sitting on the case of milk. And I had one laying behind the front little seat, and one sitting in the seat. Wasn't a whole lot of room for groceries.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But I had a dear friend, a neighbor, who worked the commissary as I don't know what he worked there anyway. He did the fast lane checkout. And whenever he saw me, he grabbed me because I sure didn't have 10 items. Had a lot more than that because it was packed in all around all the kids. I did once a week grocery shopping because we only had one car.
Okay. Yeah, that's about what we've had to do. And we've had times where we only had one car, and juggling that was interesting. So yeah. And I remember those shopping trips where you've got all the little kids and you're trying to get all the food and not have them squish the food and get the food home before anyone has a meltdown or tries to eat the food. Oh yeah.
Exactly.
All of the good old days. So what was your family lived in that area? You were near family for that most of that time, right?
No, my family lived in St. Petersburg.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a bit away. That's not too far though.
No.
So and was he from there? Was he from Florida, your husband?
My parents owned a RV court on Anna Maria Island, and my husband's father and grandfather lived there.
Okay. So, okay, I'm not familiar with Florida geography, so I'm trying to picture that. And
it's near St. Petersburg, Tampa, Bradenton, Sarasota.
So how did you meet in high school? Your husband?
No, I met him at the park.
You met him at the park.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Just like hanging out after school? Or
I was out of school.
Oh, out of school. Okay. So you met him at the park before you went off and ran off and joined the Air Force. Okay. Yep. And then when he got out of the Navy, when he finished and he retired, what did he do? What did you guys do afterwards?
Let's see. I could tell you some things, but I don't know how to word them, so I'm going to bypass that. He ended up working at Montgomery Ward's.
Okay. And then you basically, did you guys do anything fun once you were retired and empty nesters?
Good Lord.
It took a while to become an empty nester.
I was going to say it was like forever. I actually got an award for being a volunteer parent at school because I was there so long. I had a child every single year for years and years.
Probably, yeah. That would get you an award for involvement. Shows you're a good mom on top of that sort of stuff. What if you could give any advice to girls who are maybe considering joining the military now? What advice would you give them?
Be really sure that that's what you want to do, because there's no back door to get out.
Yeah,
And a lot of people, I don't like this job. I quit and don't show up the next day. There's no thing like that. You better be an adult and mature when you go in.
yeah. Quitting is not an option, or at least
Quitting
it's
is
not
not
an
an
easy
option.
one.
No.
Yeah.
And like I said, that I don't see the patriotism that
I know.
we do have it in our family. We have a lot of military members in our family, but we're an exception. I really think we're an exception.
I hope it's coming back. I see it in the military families. It seems like military families tend to have children who go into the military. But there's families who don't have as much of a military tradition, and so that is not always a thing for them.
It's such a good life. It's such a good life. It reflects in everything that you do, because I think you have a moral background,
Mm-hmm.
and you have a really powerful loyalty.
Yeah.
Which seems to be lacking.
Yeah. Commitment is huge, and being able to commit to something and following it through and knowing you did that gives you a sense of confidence, being like, hey, you know what? Basic was hard, but I did it. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
Knowing you can do hard
there's
things.
discipline. I think there's the discipline and the structure that's lacking in a lot of other career choices.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, it's just the structure and discipline. Yeah. And also the sense of team. Like you don't want to let
and
your
you're
team...
really accomplishing something, truly.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'll tell you something that was really interesting to me. I just had to get my ID redone. It's a indefinite one, but it needed to be updated, or something that they had to do to it, something that they wanted added onto it. And so I had to go in and have that done. So I went to visit my grandson, who is in the Coast Guard.
Yes.
In Corpus Christi.
Okay.
He lives on base. So while I was there, we were on our way to somewhere, and we went past the offices. And I said, I have to do this eventually. Well, let's do it now, he said. And so his wife took my arm, and in we went, sat down, signed in. They called me in. The young man that did my card was stationed in Mayport, which is one of the bases in Jacksonville.
Oh, wow.
And it was like old home week talking to him. It was so sweet. There's a camaraderie that you have that you just don't have anywhere else.
It's true.
And no matter how many years have passed or whatever, you pick it up again. Yeah.
And that's part of why I love doing this podcast so much, is I love getting to talk to people and being like, oh, you did this, or like, I understand the job you did in the Air Force because I get that
was so
job.
Fun. Yes, that was a surprise.
Yeah. And it's like that. It's a family. And that's something that I don't think people always understand. When you get into the military, you're joining a family, and families are complicated. There's people you love and people you learn to deal with. And there's a team, and it's structured, but also the thing is, there's that connection, because you can go almost anywhere in the world, and if you run into somebody who's been in the U.S. military, you can relate to them. You've got something you can understand, and I love that.
Well, it's interesting to me now because when I thank someone for being in the service, according to how it is or whatever at the moment, I'll say,
Mm-hmm.
well, I was in too. And I tell them, and they go, you win. Because there are few of us left that were
Very.
in that era.
Very few of you. And the fact that there's very few service members of your age group left, veterans, and there's very few even women. So the fact that you're a woman veteran from that time period just makes you extra special. And I hope you understand that. It's so great that I get to talk to you. This is a huge pleasure and an honor for me
Oh,
because
I thank you so much. Really, I was dreading it because I really didn't think I had anything to say.
oh, you have tons to say. Don't you worry about that. Um, okay, wrapping up, one last question I have for you. Two. We'll go with my favorite question first. Do you have any funny stories or funny memories of when you were in the military?
No, but I have a joke that
Okay, give me a joke.
okay. I don't know if this ever happened for true or not, but in basic training, the story that goes around was in the middle of the night, the alarm went off. You automatically put your shoes on
Mm-hmm.
and you leave.
Yep.
Some woman put on her raincoat. It was plastic and see-through.
Oh my goodness. Oh. Yep, you don't want to be that girl.
So
Oh,
I'll leave
wow.
you with that.
Oh my goodness. Okay, if you could give any advice to new military spouses, what would you tell them to help them as they get used to being a military spouse?
Remember that you loved that man when you married him. Times change, some for the better, some for the worse, but you still got love to lean on. Do that. Support them in the good and the bad times. It's not fair to marry and say goodbye and not be there when they come home.
Yep.
I've
Yep.
seen that and it's horrible.
It's heartbreaking.
Yes.
So that's really good advice. And honestly, that's what marriage should be. It should be for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, for sickness and health, good and bad. And oh my goodness, with the military, you get the good and the bad.
You do. You really do. It definitely is ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of lonely times
There are.
and you just power through.
Yep.
Yep.
And you find your support system.
Yes. Yes.
Yep. That's the
I
important
thank
part.
you so much.
No worries, Carolyn. This was absolutely a pleasure. I am so grateful that you were willing to sit down and talk to me and we could have this conversation. And your story matters. Thank you. Your story matters and it's important. And I'm so glad I get to be a part of preserving it for your family. So thank you for letting me do that.
You're more than welcome, and I thank you.
It truly is a joy and an honor to be a part of sharing the experiences of our service members and veterans with all of you. And I am grateful that each week I get to have that opportunity. So thank you again for joining me and listening to Carolyn's amazing story. If you or a loved one have served in the military and would like to share your story, or you would just like to have your story preserved for your loved ones so that if in the future we're looking for information on you and the contribution you made to our national freedom, that information can be found. Please reach out, let me know. This podcast is a platform to share the amazing experiences of our veterans, their families, and resources that bless the military community. So whether you are part of the military community or you just love hearing about what we do, I am so grateful that you're here and you're supporting this. I cannot do this without you. And so I greatly appreciate the encouragement, the love, and support I have gotten from every single one of you listeners. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, click it, and share this information, share this story out with your loved ones and anyone you think who might be interested. It is an amazing opportunity to be welcomed into their homes and to hear their experiences of all of our service members. And I hope to continue to have the opportunity to do so and share those experiences with every one of you. So thank you for joining me along the ride. Let's remember that every story matters and to be the good that we want to see in the world. As always, I am your host, Sam Wolf, and you're listening to Life of a Military Wife.
Spouses and veterans, hearts that won't quit, telling the truth about all of it. This life we live is hard and real, giving a voice to the lives that we live. This life we live is warm but strong, and every story deserves its song.